Okay, hello. Hopefully my audio is working all right. Our group here, Runtime Terror Team 1, we've decided that I would be the QA person for us. I'm Zach, and I've been focusing on the testing tools we're going to be using and the test suites and frameworks that we're wanting to use. And I decided that for our automated testing, we were going to use Selenium and some other language. I haven't exactly decided on that second language yet. And we're going to just do front end tests, front end automated tests, rather than doing back end ones, just because we're not quite comfortable doing that. We just don't know how to, and we don't know if we're going to have time to do both front and back end automated testing. So for now, we're going to stick with just doing front end, but we may decide to do more later on. But to get started here, we are going to use what's called Catalan Recorder. So Catalan Recorder is a Chrome extension, and what you do with that is once you open it, you're able to record tests with it. Essentially, you record actions using the recorder, and those actions are then converted into unit tests. So what we're going to do is I've opened up the recorder here. This is what our window looks like. And in order to make any new tests, you have to start by making a test suite. So we'll just call this test suite, just because, it's not really important what we call it, just because we're testing. And then inside of that test suite, you have to create a new test case. So we'll just call this one test 1. And then all we have to do is press record, and then in our tab here, we can just do anything we want, and it'll be recorded in here. So for this, I'm just going to do a pretty simple thing. We're just going to open up Amazon.com, and then I decide I want to look at the books on Amazon. And after I've clicked on the books tab, I want to look at the best books of 2022 so far. And that's all I want to do. So I'm going to click stop on the recorder, and then we can see here that it's recorded all of the actions that we did. And so what we can do now is click play test case, and what it's going to do is it's going to do these exact same steps in real time that we can see here. And so our test case just ran, and it passed successfully, as we see up here. 1 passed case, 0 failed. And then after we've recorded all of our tests, what we can do is export that test in pretty much whatever framework that we want. So I'm not really sure what framework I'm wanting to do yet exactly. These are just test cases, so there's no real functionality to it. So what I might end up doing is just doing everything in C#, just to be consistent with the .NET framework stuff that we're doing for our backend, and just have our front end tests written in C# and our backend tests using SpecFlow. So just to make things easy. But then after you export something, so you can click, let's say I want to use NUnit tests. And what it'll do is in here, it's going to just completely, translate those actions that you did, that you recorded on the browser into a unit test. So we can see the actions here, open Amazon.com, click link to books, click on the path to the best books of 2022 so far, and that's all translated into this test. And then we would want to export the whole suite. So we can just click export, and then here's downloads. You don't need to see the illegal video games I pirated or anything, but once you export it as a zipped folder, you can unzip it. Well, you can open it. I'll just open it. And we can see our test suite here, and we can see our C# source file. And then all you have to do from there is, I don't really have an IDE that I can use on my desktop here, but what you would need to do then to get things to work is just fix the driver that you're using. We can see here that when you're setting up the test, you need a web driver, and what that's used for is to open up whatever browser you're wanting. So in this case, it looks like they want to use Firefox. So we would get a we need to look up the correct driver that we need to use for our version of Firefox. And then once you do that, you can just have all of your tests together, run your entire test suite, and have completely automated front-end testing. It's pretty great.